So how are buyer's agents paid? Do you actually write a physical check at the closing table and pay a specific fee for your buying agent? Or is there a trust fund set up that pays buying agents so they don't starve and they can feed their families? No, actually in the state of Arkansas, a seller sets the commission percentage when they list a home, and then they pay a buying agent to bring somebody to buy that property. So for instance, if a listing agent lists a house at $100,000 and agrees upon a 6% commission, we're going to use that for just a number to fill in here because it's not set in stone. You can list at whatever commission you and your broker agree to. But if you list it at 6% commission on $100,000, there's 6%, which is $6,000, that is allotted to commissions. So what that means is that when seller sells the house or seller lists with real estate agent enters into a contract with a buyer that is brought by a buying agent, they have agreed, the seller or the listing agent has agreed to a certain percentage of that commission to pay the buyer's agent so that he can actually be compensated for all of his activities. And for simplicity's sake, it'll be 3 and 3. It's not a rule. You don't have to list at 3% for a buyer's agent. You can list at whatever you want. Now, I'm not going to get into why you would want to do certain things. That is an entire video in itself. But for simplicity's sake, let's say listing agent says, for anyone who brings me a qualified buyer, any real estate agent that brings me a buyer and we close, you will get 3% of this commission, of the commission. So that means that selling agent or listing agent will make $3,000 and the buying agent will make $3,000. We're not going into commission splits or anything. Again, simplicity's sake. But in the state of Arkansas, it's also legal to represent both sides. Other states are not that way. You have to have different agents bringing different clients, but you can represent both sides in the transaction in the state of Arkansas. What does that mean? That means that when listing agent lists $100,000 property, and then somebody sees the sign and says, hey, I want to call that listing agent and see if I can look at that property. And then this listing agent represents the seller and they also represent the buyer. They get both sides of that transaction, which means they keep all of the $6,000. It's not like, and let me say this. It's not like the listing agent says, okay, if a buyer comes, we're going to have to pay him $3,000. But if I control both sides, I'll only take $3,000 myself. No, the listing agent gets all of the money to himself. Why am I even making this video? Because I want to encourage you that if you have a favorite real estate agent, give them a call if you want to see something. That would mean the world to them if you would let them represent you. Follow me for more real estate advice. And if you have any questions, just give me a call.